And we'll start loosening up by shaking out wrists and elbows. And shake the whole body. And let's loosen up the waist. Okay, I have to admit somebody from the waiting room. Two somebodies. Admit and admit. The other one? Yes, good. Okay. And now bring the feet together. We'll loosen up the knees. And change direction. And now we'll do the ankles. Change direction. And the other foot. And change direction. Okay, now continue loosening up with a short all-season Qigong. Interlock the fingers. Inhale, and then exhale, stretch out any tight places. Yeah, inhale, exhale, turn to the side. Inhale, come back to the front. Exhale, turn to the other side. Inhale, come back to the front. You see how far I can turn? That was because of my acupuncturist. I just had the first visit in 18 months on Wednesday, and wow. Stretch up, exhale in, bend. Come back to center. Stretch up, exhale and bend. Come back to center. And exhale, bend the waist, move the hips around to loosen your lower back. Squat down with feet flat. And lift up the heels. And we'll come back up. Loosen up the shoulders, bring the shoulders forward, inhale. Roll them to the back and exhale. Stop with your shoulders in the back. Now inhale with your shoulders held back. Change the direction of rotation and exhale when your shoulders come forward. Alternating, inhale one side, exhale on the other. Stop on the exhale side. Now inhale on that side. Reverse directions and exhale on the other side. Drop your chin onto your chest. Roll your head to the side and gently stretch out the muscles on the side of your neck. Then roll down and put your chin on your chest again. Roll up the other side, gently stretch. And continue rotating slowly from side to side. And now bring your head upright. We'll step out to a little wider than shoulder width stance. And start horizontal circles. Coordinate with your breathing. Inhale as your abdomen goes backwards. And exhale as it comes forwards. You tuck the buttocks under. And then untuck. Notice that the head is staying reasonably stable, and I'm doing the circling in the waist and hips. Turn slowly to the side. Gradually come back to the front and turn to the other side. And come back to the center and reverse directions. Continue to coordinate with your breathing. Turn slowly to the side. Gradually come back to the front and turn to the other side. Come back to the front. Slowly make the circle smaller. We'll come to a stop and we'll wave the spine. Coordinating with the breathing, exhale here, inhale here. Exhale, inhale. Turn slowly to the side. Gradually come back to center and turn to the other side. Come back to center and now bring the wave up to the shoulders. Continue to coordinate with your breathing. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now if you pardon the irony, White Crane loosens its wings. We do White Crane to warm up for White Crane. And White Crane shakes its wings. And one at a time. And the other wing. Okay, so nice and warmed up, didn't take too long. Just a social note. Steve Morrison, who you hope remember, was a regular in the Qigong, is recovering from surgery. So he sent me a note this week, and he says he'll be back soon, but that's where he's been. So we wish him a speedy recovery. So I promised to go over White Crane Flying Gong patterns today. And first I want to make an acknowledgement that, well, you see Master Yang, people say his Tai Chi is White Crane Tai Chi, and he says, "Oh, thank you very much." Well, my White Crane will be Tai Chi White Crane, okay? And the issue is that White Crane martial artists will do the movement starting in their waist. I've never trained White Crane martial arts, so I don't have a clue mentally or physically how to move starting at the waist, because all my training is moving starting from the feet. Okay. But see, White Crane martial art is a Southern style, and the Southern style is based on the frequency of fighting on rice paddies and muddy, slippery ground, or on boats and slippery boat decks. So they try to generate their power from the waist and not from the legs, so they don't slip. Because, of course, if you're in mud or you're on a slippery boat deck, you have a hard time getting root in the feet. Right? I don't even know how to demonstrate that for you. Okay. So our White Crane will be from the whole body, from the root, movement coming from the bottoms of the feet. It's okay. So Master Yang knows that this is how the Tai Chi people will be doing his White Crane, his White Crane Qigong. So just make that admission right up front. So the Tai Chi White Crane will start with the movement at the bottom of the feet, like always we do, right? All movements in the body connected. Last week I showed you 3 modes, and also last week I neglected to cover 2 of the stationary forms. So let me review the modes for you using those 2 stationary forms. Well, one of the 2 that I forgot. So the one I forgot that I can use to demonstrate for you the 3 modes is coiling. So coiling, we can have a double wing coiling. So also White Crane hand form looks like this. Thumb below index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky raised above the index finger. So it looks like this. Except in coiling, we're supposed to emphasize the thumb and little finger to accentuate the twist, okay? So we won't be using the White Crane hand form in the coiling exercise, but in the other flying movements we want to use the White Crane hand form. Okay, so the 3 modes here are double wing, and again the breathing pattern can be exhale out, inhale in, or can be the opposite. So double wing mode. Remember, the muscles and tendons should remain relaxed. Now, there are 2 bows that work in the White Crane Qigong. The vertical bow from the feet to the shoulders or top of the head, and the horizontal bow from wingtip to wingtip. So both these bows are working. in this exercise. So one mode with the wings is double wing. That's both wings at the same time. Okay. Then another mode with the wings is alternating single wing. And the third mode with the wings is single wing. And then the other wing. Now notice with single wing, the non-working wing is still alive. So I don't want to do this with my non-working wing. You know what? Then the chi body is cut off right here. So I want to keep this alive. So the body is one complete and unified chi. If you try this, limping up the other arm, if you have a feeling for the chi body, you'll feel that, oh, the arm suddenly becomes kind of dead because it's just hanging limp. If it's alive, then the chi body is whole and unified. Okay, so there are the three modes with the wings. Then there are three modes with the feet or stance. Stationary, feet even, the rocking, shifting from 60-40 to 60-40, okay? And then the stepping. And the stepping, again, the Tai Chi White Crane Qigong. We do Tai Chi walking, stepping, okay? So, most of the exercises can employ the three different modes of the wings and the three different modes of the stance. However, the other exercise I neglected to show you last week, well, I'm not sure I can do all of those. Well, at least not without perhaps contrivance. So this is Soothe the Long Gong. Now, important point to note here is that Soothe the Long Gong, your attention may be drawn to the horizontal bow, but I'm also using the vertical bow. So you see what I mean about, well, how would we do this single wing? I'm not sure. Now, breathing pattern. There's no yin and yang to this movement. So there's no prescribed breathing pattern having to do with coordinating the yin and yang of breathing with the yin and yang of body movement. However, remember that if you have bronchial issues, asthma, or other bronchial issues, you want to inhale with the shoulders back Exhale with the shoulders forward. And this, as you probably can see, is a cool down. You can call it warm up as well, but warm up or cool down exercise. Very good for the lungs. Thus the name, soothe the lung gong. Okay. So there's the two of the stationary patterns that I forgot to include last week. And now we'll go to flying. Flying. So, let's start off with left and right flying. Left and right flying goes like this. So the end of when we reach the full extension of the wing movements, it'll be like this, okay? White crane hand form. And there's the imagery that Dr. Yan uses when he teaches the white crane. There's a white crane perched on top of a tall bamboo tree. The wind starts to blow, and the crane starts to move its wings to keep its perch on top of the tree, which begins to sway with the wind, and to keep its perch stable. And the wind gains strength, and the crane correspondingly increases the size of its wing movements. In this movement, I like the breathing pattern: inhale and exhale. But you can do the opposite. And I like that one because it brings the air into the top of the lungs. And the breeze is blowing fairly strongly. And the crane on top of the swaying bamboo tree moves its wings in full extension until they almost touch overhead. Note that the movement of the horizontal bow is subtle, but it's still there. Horizontal bow collapsed, horizontal bow expanded. Now, the wind begins to die down, and the white crane gradually reduces the size of its wing movements as the wind gets softer and softer and the tree swaying less and less, till finally the wind stops and the white crane returns to rest. Okay, so that's double wing flying. Now, you can do alternate single wing flying with this one. And breathing pattern, normal abdominal breathing, or you can use all the way up to grand circulation breathing if you're comfortable with incorporating grand circulation into the movements. Now, one thing you'll notice with the single wing is that we get way more opening of this side of the body, including the armpit, which where heart 1 point is located. So, and also you can imagine what's happening in the shoulder area as the arm goes way up over the head, but very gently. Minimizing muscular force, I allow gravity to do this and do that, with a little help from the rest of the body, and everything connected from the feet. Okay? So gradually we'll reduce the size of the alternating single wing. And we come to a stop. And now we'll do single wing. Other wing alive. Again, I like inhale and exhale. Now, feel here. Feel the shoulder, feel the lung. Here's going up to my collarbone as I inhale in this position. Feel a stretch. And gradually, I'll reduce the size of the movements and switch over to the other wing. So single wing on the other side. Can you see how much I am using gravity and the body momentum rather than muscle energy to make these movements? So the arm is very, very relaxed. And gradually we reduce the size of the movements. Now I hope you can feel the difference in those three different wing modes. Double wing, alternating single wing, and single wing. So single wing opens up the shoulder the most. And so each one has unique benefits in terms of the effect on your lungs and the effect on your body. And double wing coordination, you can work the chest bow more in the double wing. Alternating single wing, really that's I think a challenge to your body coordination and the smoothness of your movement. So the way it flows is so nice, but it helps to bring coordination to the movements. And then the single wing, very good for the shoulder joint, the heart meridian, and the lung. So as in this position, air coming up into the lung, very top of the lung up here. So, and the other one into this one. Okay, so each mode has different benefits. Now, with the left and right flying, I don't see much point in going to rocking or stepping. I mean, you could, but it kind of feels, again, a bit contrived to me, but there's no law against it. Now, let's go to a pattern that we can use with all three modes of the stance. And that's going to be the circular flying that looks like this. Okay. If you've done Tai Chi Ball Qigong, this is going to be very familiar at first. And then it's going to become unlike Tai Chi Ball Qigong. So, White Crane hand forms. I should have started smaller. Both bows are working. You can see chest bow and spine bow working. Breathing pattern can be in any direction. So I get up here to shoulder height, that's as high as I'm going. This is backward circular flying.
Roger, do we bend our knees?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Not a lot, but if I didn't bend my knees, it would look like this. So you see, the bending the knees really is part of the vertical bow. Okay, now, step 1 foot forward and rock. And when you rock, you get a little bit more action with the vertical bow. Stepping, I'm just going to do one step to rock on the other side. And I'll come back to camera center. And stepping. And stepping. And of course, forward stepping can also be accompanied by backward stepping. And let me show you from the front to remind of one important point about the backward stepping. Step to center, step back, and as you shift the weight back, turn the front foot from 45-degree angle to straight ahead. Okay, so 3 different modes of stepping. Now let's look at the other modes of the circular flying that aren't alike Tai Chi Ball Qigong. Let's go to forward circling. We just did backward circling, so this is forward circling and alternate single wing. walking. Stepping. And backward. I'm going to coordinate my arm and legs so that I have same side knee and same side hand forward. When we do the alternating single wing flying patterns, there can be two options. So one option would be to have same side wing and same side knee forward. The other option would be to have opposite side wing and opposite side knee forward. With opposite side forward, you get a twist in the waist and quad here, which can be very good for that area, for the organs, the inner quad and the inguinal area here, and the groin area. But you want to be careful, of course, that when you're twisting, you're not twisting your knees. Okay? So knees stay straight ahead. Twisting is done in hips. Okay. So. All right. So remember, you have those two options, and of course, if you're walking, then you can switch which option you're using. Sometimes it takes a little bit of adjustment to stay on the same option if that's what you want to do. So, okay, so that is forward and backward circular flying. You could also do single wing, okay, which is very nice for the wrist and shoulder. Okay, this is straightforward. This is straightforward. Now, this is another one that is like this. External to internal circular flying. So this version of circular flying is straight, I'm going to say straight from the shoulder. Don't take that to extremes, but yeah, straight from the shoulder, straight forward and backward. Okay. Now, another pattern is external to internal circular flying. Okay. This one should be familiar because we use it as the part of the warm-ups in the all-season Qigong, and it's also in the primary set. It's the eagle attacks its prey. Okay, so it looks like this. Starting in stationary position. Breathing, if you've got bronchial problems, inhale with shoulders back, exhale with shoulders forward. Starting small, we gradually increase the size of the movements. Both bows are working, so I want to get vertical bow and horizontal bow. Without tensing, gradually I increase the height of the wingtips. When we get up to shoulder height, that's as high as we go. So for all of the flying patterns, except for the left and right flying, we only go shoulder height. And if I take a step forward, I am rocking. And I can walk. Now, I need to tell you one more thing about this particular pattern, is that the palms can be horizontal palm facing down, okay? So if you do horizontal palm facing down, and pay attention, palm facing down, pay attention to the feeling, particularly in the arm and shoulders. Palm can be vertical, facing in. You wouldn't want to do it this way. Your arm's too twisted too much, so you wouldn't want to have it facing out. Okay. So palm facing in. And then mixed. So the palm can face down and then in and down and in, or it can face in and down, in and down, in and down. Okay? So you have those options with the palm. So that adds another set of 3 options. This begins to get complicated, I know, but you get 3 stance options, 3 wing movement options, and 3 palm options. So, and of course, in the external to internal circular flying, we can do rocking, and, well, we already did that. So we can do alternate single wing. Same side, wing and knee forward. Or opposite side, wing and knee forward. Look at the opposite side, but knee is straight ahead, so be careful. You get this much turn. Really good for the hip joints, the inguinal area, but you have to do the turning here. It may take a while to get this flexible. You remember, of course, that I'm 73, so some of you who are younger may not be this flexible, but maybe when you're a little older, you will be. I'm sorry, that's my smart ASSS joke. Okay, and then, of course, single wing. Single wing really allows you to concentrate on one part of the body, one side of the body. So the shoulder, the chest, and the arm here, you can concentrate, really get the feeling. So if you have an injury, this is very nice because you can feel how to get the muscles and tendons loose and how to manipulate them so that they get a gentle stretch to help healing, but don't get overworked so they don't get strained. And then the other side. And then I showed you this angle. See the chest bow, how hollow it is, how rounded the back is. I can't get that much movement of the chest bow with double wing. Okay, so double wing is like this and like this, but single wing like this and like this. So I get more chest bow. That's the reason why we have that different wing options. We've got time to show you one more, and let's maybe think of one that I haven't done. Okay, I don't think we did this one last week. This is straight backwards flying. Now this one really works the two bows. We only go up to shoulder height. And if you want to imagine yourself with the spirit of the crane, this is probably the one where you can most imagine, oh, I'm flying across the Caribbean in my seasonal migration. Look at the bow, the chest bow. And it's still relaxed, not straining, Just nice to relax, stretch. And then the vertical bow as well. If you were to go to one of Master Young's seminars, you see beginners doing the way. I'm not making fun of anybody, but just showing you what you don't want to do and what you want to, over time, certainly get away from doing. And that is, you'll see beginners going like this. Okay? And that's not the movement. This is the movement. So, don't think about the wings as being the whole point of it. No, the whole body is the point of it. So if you were to look at birds, if you see a sparrow in your neighborhood and it's flying from tree to tree, you know, it's fly like this. When you watch a goose or a crane or another long distance flying bird flying, and they're flying, you can see the movements. Much more flexible, much more circular than the sparrow. Okay. All right, so let's continue with this straight backwards flying. Now, if I rock, I can get even more action from the two bows. without tensing up. And stepping. I want to step forward when my wings are going forward. And I want to step backwards when my wings are going backwards. And gradually, the wind begins to die down, and the crane reduces the size of its wing movements. Bamboo tree stops swaying, the wind stops, and the crane returns to rest. Notice that even as the movements get smaller and smaller, can you see the whole body connected in the movement? Even so small. Yeah. Okay. That feels so good. Are there questions or comments?
Do you want to include all the minor joints?
See?
I find my wrists want the elbows and the forearms and the in-between parts want to flex and expand and contract too. Is that?
You didn't quite hear what you saying. Use all the joints.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't show you this pattern either, but yeah, the wrists, the elbows, and of course the shoulders, the knees, and the spine. I'm probably forgetting a few joints that are involved in this, ankles, but yeah.
Forearms, like work a little bit.
Yes.
Thinking about that.
Now see if I get up here. Look at the elbow. And the thing is that the elbow is just being moved. It's not moving itself. Now, my arm, in this particular pattern, can you see how the arm really isn't doing anything? All the momentum is coming from gravity and the root of the body. Yeah. This is very good for arthritis. And if you work in some advanced breathing, like if you did joint breathing, or the grand circulation, leading chi to the joints that you wanted to help heal from the arthritis, it would be doubly effective. But it is, I keep stressing, there's no muscular force involved, no tension, no tension. And yeah, it takes a while because a lot of us through our life, job and maybe home life and other things going on in life, we become tense. We tense up and we even forget what relaxed is. And that didn't happen overnight. So it won't happen overnight that you can become relaxed again. It takes a long time. But when you get relaxed, then your energy flows freely and you live longer. Yeah. So you'll have more energy.
Roger, I think you were a crane in your former life.
Well, yeah.
You do it so well.
And all that's in that is practice. Over the year, yeah, sure. It's 25 years probably I've been doing this, so it's a long time of practice. But it's all practice. There's no skill involved in this. Coordination or strength, of course, not strength at all. It's just a matter of practice and perseverance. Yeah, because I have no particular talent. In fact, it amazes me that people now say how graceful I can perform some of these exercises. And I think I never would have thought when I was 40 years old that anyone would ever call me graceful. One of my students' mothers came to watch a class, and later the student told me that her mother said that Roger is the most graceful man she's ever seen. Well, she ever seen Baryshnikov? That was just amazed me. But the thing is that there's nothing special involved in this. It's just practice. It's just perseverance. Because I had no special talent. In fact, I've got all these sort of handicaps. For example, I can hardly talk right now, the allergies. But yeah, I've just overcome them. And Qigong and Tai Chi have done this for me.
Yeah. Yeah, Tai Chi will do it too, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
Tai Chi, yes, Tai Chi, and yeah, so, I mean, anyone can do it. My point is that anyone can do it because I'm not special.
Yeah.
Maybe the only special about me is I'm stubborn, okay? I'm persistent. I have that reputation. But otherwise, I have no special qualities, no special coordination, strength, agility. Nah. But Tai Chi and Qigong will give you some of those things. So, yeah. So.
Yeah, Tai Chi and Qigong are kind of like ballet in a way, yeah.
Yeah. Only you don't ruin your toes.
No toes, no toes.
Yeah.
Okay, have a good weekend, everybody.
Yeah, have a great weekend and
Okay.
we'll
Stay
be back
dry.
Wednesday.
Yeah, have a good time.
Yeah.
Bye.